What if you could start bringing a dead garden back to life with something you probably throw away every week? This was my barren patch of dirt. Dry, compacted, and totally lifeless. If you've ever dug into your garden and found nothing but dust, you know that sinking feeling. It's a huge red flag that your soil is in serious trouble. Honestly, I had just about given up. Then I poured a simple byproduct from my kitchen into the soil. And what happened next was incredible. The worms started showing up, and over the next few weeks, they completely transformed the dirt. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Before we get to the miracle brew, you need to understand just how bad things were. My garden wasn't just struggling, it was on life support, and I think someone had pulled the plug. For 2 seasons, I'd tried everything. I tilled in bags of pricey compost. I layered on thick blankets of mulch. I watered like my life depended on it, but nothing worked. The soil was like concrete in the summer, and a soupy mess when it rained. Anything I planted would sprout, take one look around, and then just give up. But the most telling sign, the one that really broke my gardener's heart, was the silence. Not just the lack of birds, but the silence of the soil itself. A healthy garden hums with life. You dig in, and you should find a whole world of creatures. But when I'd stick a spade in my garden, all I heard was a dull thud. The soil I turned over was just dead weight, pale, crumbly, and empty. There were no earthworms, not a single one. Earthworms are the rock stars of the garden. They're the engineers, the plows, and the fertilizer factories all rolled into one. Their absence was a screaming alarm that my soil's ecosystem had totally collapsed. It had no organic matter, no microbial life, nothing for a worm to eat. My garden was a desert. I was frustrated, exhausted, and on the verge of just paving the whole thing over. That patch of land was a constant, glaring reminder that I just couldn't get it right. Just when I was ready to throw in the trowel, I stumbled upon the solution in the most unlikely place. It wasn't in some fancy gardening magazine, it was in a comment I read deep in an old online gardening forum. Someone mentioned an old-timer's trick their grandmother used. They called it a soil starter and swore it could wake up even the most tired ground. The secret? Fermented rice water. I'll admit I was skeptical. Rice water? The cloudy stuff I pour down the drain every time I make dinner? It sounded way too simple, almost too good to be true. But I had nothing to lose. My garden was already at rock bottom. I'd spent a small fortune on amendments that did nothing. So why not try something that was basically free? The more I looked into it, the more it clicked. This wasn't just about watering, it was about inoculating the soil. Fermenting the starchy water turns it into a living tonic, buzzing with beneficial microorganisms. Specifically, it cultivates lactic acid bacteria, or LABI, the same good stuff you find in yogurt and kimchi. These microbes are the pioneers of a healthy soil food web. They get to work breaking down organic matter, which in turn creates the perfect environment to attract earthworms. It was a total light bulb moment for me. I'd been so focused on feeding my plants, but I had forgotten to feed the soil itself. This wasn't a fertilizer, it was an invitation for the microscopic army that builds healthy soil from the ground up. I realized that instead of trying to force life onto the land, I needed to invite it in, and this humble kitchen scrap was the invitation. Making this liquid gold is incredibly easy, and it costs next to nothing. Here's the exact process I followed. First, get your rice water. The best kind is the water from rinsing uncooked rice because it's packed with starch and B vitamins. Just take 1 cup of plain uncooked white rice and put it in a bowl with 2 or 3 cups of clean, non-chlorinated water. If you only have tap water, let it sit out for 24 hours so the chlorine can evaporate. You don't want chlorine killing the good microbes you're trying to grow. Swirl the rice and water together for a minute or 2 until the water turns milky white. Then, strain the rice, but keep all that cloudy water. That's your base. Next up is fermentation. Pour the starchy water into a clean glass jar, about 3/4 full to leave some headspace. Don't screw the lid on tight. Cover the top with a piece of cheesecloth or a coffee filter and secure it with a rubber band. This lets it breathe but keeps bugs out. I just left the jar on my kitchen counter, out of direct sunlight. Now, you wait. Let it ferment for 2 to 4 days depending on how warm your house is. After a couple of days, you'll notice it starts to smell a little sweet and sour, kind of like mild vinegar. That's the smell of success. It means the lactic acid bacteria are multiplying. If you see any fuzzy black or orange mold, something went wrong, and you need to toss it and start over. A little bit of white stuff on the surface is generally harmless, but always trust your gut. Finally, application day. Once it has that distinct sour smell, it's ready. For my dead soil, I diluted it to make sure it soaked in everywhere. I used a ratio of about 1 part fermented rice water to 4 parts non-chlorinated water. I mixed it in a big watering can and took it out to my sad little garden bed. I didn't bother with the non-existent plants. I poured it generously right onto the soil, giving it a good, even soaking. And then I walked away. So what's actually happening in that jar and in the soil? It's not magic, it's microbiology, and it's pretty cool. Think of dead, compacted soil as an empty city. You've got buildings, dirt particles, but no people, no power, and no food. It's a ghost town. Just watering it is like sending a water truck through. Things get wet, but no one moves in. Pouring fermented rice water on it is like sending in a welcome wagon of pioneers and chefs. The brew is pulsating with life, especially lactic acid bacteria. These are the good guys. They hit the soil and immediately start breaking down dormant organic matter, which unlocks nutrients that were trapped. This process also improves the soil structure, making it spongier and better at holding water. But here's the key part of the story. This sudden explosion of microbial life is a dinner bell for earthworms. Worms don't just eat dirt. They're hunting for bacteria and other microorganisms. That microbial bloom is their favorite food. They sense this feast you've just laid out and start migrating from surrounding areas to check it out. So, when I poured the fermented rice water on my garden, I wasn't just watering it, I was kickstarting an entire ecosystem. The worms didn't appear out of thin air. They were attracted to the party. Once they arrive, they become your best gardening partners. As they tunnel around, they aerate the soil, breaking up that compaction and creating channels for air, water, and roots. Plus, their castings, a polite word for worm poop, are one of the best natural fertilizers on the planet. The rice water brings the microbes attract the worms, and the worms start transforming your soil into a living, fertile ecosystem. Honestly, even knowing the science, I wasn't prepared for what happened. I figured I might see a small difference in a few weeks. What I got was a full-on revival. After about a week, I went out with my morning coffee, knelt down, and dug my fingers into the soil. And I saw it, the first one. A big, healthy earthworm wiggling away. It might not sound like much, but in this garden it was a miracle. A few days later, I found a few more. A week after that, the top layer of soil was dotted with worm castings. The ground that was once hard enough to resist a shovel was now becoming soft and crumbly. The pale, dusty color was slowly being replaced by a rich, dark brown. It started to smell earthy and sweet, the way healthy soil is supposed to smell. It was the most amazing turnaround I've ever seen in my garden. The worms were doing the heavy lifting, tilling and aerating and fertilizing better than I ever could. My barren wasteland was finally becoming a garden bed, ready and waiting for new plants. It was proof that sometimes the most powerful solutions aren't the ones you buy, but the ones you make yourself. This whole experiment taught me a huge lesson. You don't fight with your soil, you feed it. You nurture the life within it and trust that the bigger helpers, like our wiggly friends the earthworms, will show up for the party. This simple, free method started a transformation in my garden that 2 years of expensive, back-breaking work never could. It's not an overnight fix, but it is a fundamental reset for your soil's biology. So, if your garden is looking tired, if your soil is hard and lifeless, I dare you to try this. Don't write it off just yet. Send out that dinner invitation and see who shows up. You might be just as amazed as I was. If this story helped you, consider subscribing for more simple, powerful gardening tips. And please, share your own stories in the comments below. Have you ever used fermented tricks in your garden? Let's learn from each other and bring more dead gardens back to life, one handful of worms at a time.